where does confidence come from? Why is it that some people are more confident than others? And how is it that we can gain more confidence in our daily lives? To do what it is that we want to do, to achieve more, to engage the people around us, to engage the world in a more positive manner, to bring about and inspire change, both in ourselves and in others. To set out to achieve all it is that we have desired. But all of this takes some degree of confidence. And I believe confidence comes in one's ability to uphold the integrities, to make good decisions, to trust in oneself when faced with the various choices that we are in our daily lives. Now, if we set ourselves very, very difficult tasks, if we set ourselves very big goals and expect to achieve them in the shortest time possible, in some cases in a very unrealistic time frame, then we're setting ourselves up for failure. We need to set very, very small steps for ourselves when we map out the direction it is that we are going in. And the idea should not necessarily be to compete with others. It should be to compete with oneself, to understand where it is that we are today. And if we can say that we either learned something or if we took one step in the right direction, then we should be happy. We should understand that we did more than we did yesterday. We're one step closer. And in taking that step, we should grow in confidence because we are building up a momentum behind us with each step. And with this momentum, you will gradually build up a level of confidence, a trust in the integrities, to uphold virtues. And this is not something that's really discussed often enough today. It's to have or be a virtuous person is not something that's really talked about or really discussed at any length. It's not understood as it was in days gone by. I think that's kind of a shame, because to have virtues and to uphold those qualities, to have integrity, is to be in alignment with the people around us, to respect what it is, their wishes, their boundaries, their hopes, their aspirations, their dreams, to uphold their dignities, and to uphold the dignities of the natural world, and even the man-made environments that we put ourselves in, the various systems of business, of commerce, of religion, and everything else it is that we fashion and that we call an integral part of our lives. We must integrate ourselves with all of these, and by upholding the integrity of all of these various systems, we can gain a certain trust, gain a certain confidence, and all of these systems will no longer be working against us, because we will be in alignment with them. And being in alignment with these various systems is like pointing your canoe downstream in a river. You're no longer struggling. You're riding the rapids, and you can do it in a controlled fashion, and you can get to where it is that you want to much more quickly. So confidence in that respect is to uphold integrities within yourself, to trust yourself. And in doing so, you will find that life has taken a much better turn. It will show you what it is that is possible. It will show you all of what it is that you've aspired to achieve. But it all begins with confidence and some degree of persistence in the face of adversity, because if we're not aligned, if we're not in integrity with all that it is around us, then we need persistence. Persistence to keep trying to steer ourselves in the right direction. And one day it will happen. But we can't give up. Having that definite purpose, people will see. When you walk down the road and your eyes meet with someone, whoever it is, there is something that's arising out of that person and from you. For the most part, we ignore these brief glances that we exchange, and we just write them off as being nothing. But the bottom line is that we are searching for something. We are looking. And if your glance has met with someone, then there is an integrity there to be fulfilled on some level. This doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go and engage that person. It doesn't mean that you have to go and talk to that person, but it does mean that there's something that's trying to be recognized, something that's trying to surface, something that is showing you the way. And if you're a little bit more mindful about these encounters and give them a little more thought and reflect on them, you'll find that there's lessons to be learned in absolutely everything. You are constantly putting signals out there. You are constantly throwing your energy out for a purpose, with intent. And whatever it is that your eyes meet on, that's that energy coming back to you in one form or another. It's trying to show you a way. And it's up to you to read the cues and read the signals and take from it what you will. So trust in yourself. Don't throw this idea to one side. Don't just ignore it as some nonsense, some strange idea. It only seems strange because it's very uncomfortable. But if you put that discomfort to one side and just try to engage it for a moment and try to find meaning in all it is that you do, you will find meaning. I think many of us believe that there's no meaning to life except the meaning that you give to it. So then why not try to look for meaning in some of the more seemingly mundane things in life? If your eyes are picking up on it, it's because it was important to you. Don't ignore it. Do something about it. Even if that thing that you do about it is having a very quick think. And in doing so, you will be trusting yourself more. You will develop a gut instinct. You'll develop you'll be utilizing what it is that God has given you, what it is that we are all born with. We're all born with various radar systems. Your reticular activation system, the fact that your eyes clapped onto something or someone, is your radar. It is the blip on the screen, which you can either ignore as being nothing, or you can act on. You can believe that there's something there. And when you do go to act, the only other thing that will guide your action is your conscience. Your conscience is another guidance system. It's the compass that tells you whether or not you're pointing down the right way down the river of life, whatever the flow is of things. And your conscience even will guide you in this respect. But all of this takes a degree of confidence within yourself. So observe these small things. Learn the lessons. Trust yourself more day by day, and you will grow from strength to strength. You will develop a sense of peace that other people will recognize if they're awake enough. But the problem for the most part is that most of us are quite content going through life without being very alert or very conscious. In fact, most of us will do all that we can to switch off our minds, because perhaps work is a little bit too hard. Perhaps we don't want to give attention to the wife or children when we come home. Perhaps we just need to switch off the mind because it's been so hard throughout the day. But it's only hard because perhaps the canoe isn't pointing in the right direction, or you're just trying to go upstream. Turn around and go downstream, and you'll find that a lot of things in life, when you give them attention in this way, will automatically start ironing themselves out, because you're aligning yourself with all the integrities of all the systems and all of the people and everything it is that you are part of. So have a think.